and welcome to the Larp News Podcast with me, Bungle, and the ever-present and wonderful Millie.
Hello! Bung. Hey, Bung.
Yeah, what?
Is he one, Bung?
Ooh. Also,
Yeah?
am I right in thinking this is my first podcast of the year?
Oh, God. I mean, you did the first episode of the year where we talked about all of our plans, and then all of those plans have very much gone out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of things have changed and what's gone on. I mean, I wasn't able to make it to MF1.
Yeah, and I was able to make it to MF1, but not as a player.
No, you were locked away in a portal cabin all weekend.
I was. Yeah. What an
She's too
experience.
powerful to be out there on her own.
Well,
we must lock
yeah.
her away.
I have achieved my ultimate form, and my ultimate form is a mouldy porter cabin at the top of a hill. We did a Menez. Fear not, dear listeners, there will be an episode on Menez fate. I've managed to corral Oily from the Immersive Idiots podcast to talk me through his player experience for the first ever Menez.
Ooh.
I know, and as time of recording, we are also 2 weeks out. 2 weeks? 1, 2, 3 weeks out from the next Menez. So life is pretty busy at the moment, my dear Bungle.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get my shit together to be able to get along to MF2. So there's that going on. But the main reason we're here to chat today.
Yeah, Empire, baby, we are back.
Pre-Larp.
Yeah, the Pre-Larp train is a turning, and we're pulling out of regular world station and into the world of LARP and Anvil, and I'm very excited. It's been a while since we've been back at Anvil, isn't it? It's been November, October.
Yeah, between autumn and winter is commonly known as the Long Dark, because it is the longest period between summits.
Yeah,
I think they used to do E1 earlier in the year, but weather-wise, it's more practical to have it a bit later on.
Yeah. Speaking of the weather, Bung, have you looked at it?
When I looked at it this morning, it looked Danford was going to be pretty okay.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Yeah, I checked it this morning. I mean, obviously this is long-distance weather reports, so take with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
But we're looking, I think the highest percent chance of rain I saw was 30 or 40%.
That's not bad. That is not bad.
And highs of 16 and going down to 8 at night.
Have you ever tried a career in weather forecast? Because I would listen to you read me the weather reports every day.
Well, no, but I think I'd quite enjoy doing the shipping forecast or something like that.
Yeah, RIP shipping forecast.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are getting very distracted.
Dogger 6 southwesterly.
Highs of 63, falling to lows of 4 in the afternoon. So good.
Anyway, tangent station. Let's pull back into onto the main line.
So what have you been doing in prep for Empire, Bungle?
Not necessarily I've been doing the prep for, but I managed to rope my other half into doing something for me for LARP.
Nice.
I have got a basket filled with crocheted frogs of different colours. There's some like little tree frogs, some are little like comical little squat fat frogs.
Oh, that's so cute.
So I will be going around Anvil selling frogs that were rescued from Tharunin when I was retreating out with my military unit.
Oh, that's so cute. Speaking of Tharunin, actually, this might be this, but what did you do with your military unit, Bungle?
My military unit was supporting the Blackthorn army in Tharunin.
Okay, so Blackthorn's okay.
Yeah. Well, obviously, things didn't. Well, I mean, things didn't go 100% to plan in Tharunin. The Empire as a whole has lost 2 armies in that area.
Yeah, they were disbanded.
Varushkan Iron Helms.
Yeah.
Not disbanded, destroyed, basically.
Yeah.
They reduced the numbers so much that they're forced to disband, basically.
Yeah.
And the
Azalea's
Azalea's Dance, Navarre's newest army, was wiped.
I know. And they published that wind on the night of History and Virtue. So that wind about Isaiah's Dance and the Iron Helms came out at the night of that event. And I was getting ready with the general and half of the dread shields, and I was getting ready with half of Waystone Path, which included the former general of Isaiah's stance.
Yes. So that's pretty heavy news coming out of that.
Yeah.
Does mean I am entering into Anvil with a either a traumatic wound or I'm trying to put the other terminology used is. Bear with
aura?
Me, dear listener.
Is it an aura?
There is an aura, which you had to email to request, which I have done for the first time in ages. I've actually remembered to email in, so I'm going to have an aura ribbon, which I've requested to be on a piece of jewellery. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
You're going to have a fun time in.
Yeah, and a traumatic wound.
Woof.
So, yeah.
Oh, God. So you've...
Traumatic or lingering wound, sorry.
Nice. So you've got yourself a nice little pack of wounds. You've got yourself a wonderful little basket of crocheted frogs. What else?
Yep.
What else is occurring in the life of Gwydion?
Not a huge amount. Though I'm possibly going to try and force myself to do some embroidery over this next week.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully get something sorted out for that.
Nice.
Not sure exactly what yet, but it's probably going to be something along the lines of loyalty and remembrance in regards to Thorunin.
Nice.
I'm thinking, but it's like one of those things like, how do I word things and things like that? So it's like, hopefully have that ready for E1, even if I'm doing like I have done previously at events where I've been embroidering on Thursdays and Friday morning.
Woof.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's like con crunch, isn't it, for all of our cosplayers out there? It's a bit of a stress time.
It's thinking I should have done this ages ago. Why am I leaving it to the last minute?
Yeah.
When will I learn?
Let me tell you. Do you, by any chance, have any kind of ADHD?
I am autistic and probably do have a touch of ADHD to go with that.
Who'd have thunk that getting deadlines and doing work in a reasonable time was something that we would struggle with? Oh my God.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Oh man, I feel you. But yeah. And did you go to any player events in the Long Dark?
I'm trying to think if I went to Hunter's Feast.
Nice. How was it?
That was really, really fun. I think I talked about that one on probably our Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But yeah, it was a really good event done in the Merchants Hall in York.
Nice.
Which internally is amazing for stuff like LARP events.
Yeah.
Obviously outside you're on the streets of York, but the outsides of the building are all the original sort of Merchants Hall thing, and inside there is just like oil paintings and all that sort of stuff.
God, that must have been amazing. I'm so mad I didn't get to go.
Really good for sort of feast LARP, which was really nice.
Good. Yeah. And done by the wonderful people at LARPs and Tarp, so...
Yeah, done by them. Not their mainline characters. They're sort of NPCing as different people. But it was a lot of fun. And yeah, it was really, really good.
Good. Nice.
What have you been up to in the preparation for E1?
Well, dear listeners, in terms of kit and stuff, I had a wonderful friend, Alex, who was in our group, the Golden Thread, made me an incredible doublet for Claudia. And I love it so much. So I've been making my little kit and sort of decking that out and things like that. We went to LARPCon and Know Your Game and stuff. So I did a lot of the sort of the stalls and the markets and bought a few things. I got a nice little shirt. So yeah, she's good. And then I think I've got the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Rich from the Crimson Reapers who did the rings. Ricardo in the Crimson Reapers.
Your acne showing.
Honestly, just a little bit. So he's made me something really wonderful. But I had some really big plans for Empire this year, but unfortunately, work is taking me abroad.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've got to find a new co-host for a short amount of time.
I mean, you don't have to. I'm only missing E2 and E3.
Perhaps I'll see about roping Ian or someone in.
Yeah. it's almost like Ian used to do the podcast.
I know.
But yeah, so I was thinking I'm gonna have a nice time at Empire, seeing as I can only do 2 events out of the year. I was reading the wins. There were so many wins.
Yeah, haven't actually read any of the wins yet. I've got a web browser open with the tabs of the wins I'm interested in.
Yeah. It is very interesting. So there's a lot going on. There's wins for the Sarkovian Delves, for the Barons. There's a nice little diplomacy win for Axos. And you've got another one for the Brass Coast. And then you've got Rykos. You've got the Tharunin one, obviously. Ice Giants in Wintermark. Allies of the Sumer Republic. There's a lot to read, dear listener. So if you don't like reading large bits of text, there is a wonderful YouTube channel called Pre-Larp Audio, which I can wholeheartedly recommend for people who struggle reading bulk amounts of text, especially when they're written so sort of what's the word when they're kind of like they're written as if they're narratively written, so they are a bit chunky to get through. I
mean, because obviously a lot of them will have the flavor text above, and then there is a bit of a breakdown below which is all bullet pointed out, which is can be quite useful. It is. They are amazingly written and they are wonderful, but that, my god, they can be overwhelming.
So I've been listening to most of the wins, which is nice. Although I did read out the one about Isaiah's dance in person with half of the Waystone Path, and we were crying most of the time. So, trauma not included with the wins.
E1 is going to be a very interesting event, especially in Navarre, especially, and I think Varushka as well, obviously, them losing the Iron Helms.
And in Dawn.
Brutal army, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Iron Helms was such a good army, man. But Dawn is also going to have a very interesting E1. So but Dawn's been up to no good. So there's going to be a very interesting time in at Dawn. But so myself and my little Carter, we're just going to have a nice little time bimbling around. I have been. You can take the scribe out of Navarre, but you can't take the scribe out of Millie. I am
who you
going
signed
to
up to scribe for?
I am the secretary of the prince's meeting. So I'm going to be minuting that. But that's also just so that I can get my hands on a little bit of gossip and really sink my teeth into the Leagueish game, because I've spent the last 4 years getting my head around how Navarre works, and it's a very different kettle of fish to the League. Especially with how they do votes and stuff. So
votes are all down to businesses.
Yeah, exactly right. So I built Claudia and they were like, oh, you don't want to give her a military unit, give her a business, because then you can vote and stuff. And I was like, what is this? So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Gone is the days of being with the tree-hugging hippie communists.
Yeah, well, I quite like the tree-hugging hippies. But I'm using Empire this year as a nice little mooch around. I may or may not have a little bit of games in the works. I really want to set up an auction house. But it's going to take me a long time to do that, especially if I'm not there for E2 or E3.
Yeah.
And then I really want to... just mooch about. I've got a nice little dinner date planned with Captain Keelia.
Ooh.
I know. She. The problem is I started smoozing at History and Virtue, and my God, I'm just too charming. So yeah, we've got. Oh no, sorry, I love you, Katie. But yeah, so I've got that. I've got a couple of things going on with the Reapers, but not really anything too exciting. It's just going to be a nice time for me to catch up with all my mates, introduce them to Claudia, and the chaos that will definitely ensue. I'm also doing Empire Dry this year, so I'm not drinking, which is a big step for Millie, because Millie often does the naughty thing of dealing with social awkwardness by drinking. But seeing as that's what gets me into most of my chaotic troubles, I might have a very boring year at Empire this year.
We'll find out. We'll do a comparison at the end of the year.
That would be
see
quite funny.
The level of chaos that sober Millie has brought to
when slightly more
non-sober
tipsy.
Millie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, got a new tent. Going to be setting up the new tent. Got a nice little new cooking pot. So yeah, I'm really feeling like I'm going to come into my LARPing boots this year. Should be great. Yeah, but I'm so excited, man.
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, the only LARP I've done this year was Flying Lead Lawless.
Yeah,
which was so much fun, but quite high intensity. I think we did initially plan to do an episode on it, but
it was a lot.
I didn't have spoons for quite some time after that event.
Yeah, it was a lot. If people do want to. If people do want to listen to a good Lawless episode, Matty and Sol have started up a new podcast
called Us Again.
So Matty and Sol have done 4 episodes, I think, on Lawless. So give them a listen. We'll tag them in our little social medias. But yeah, it's all very exciting. It's going to be nice, and I feel it. I can feel it in my bones. The drums of war and empire are beginning to beat, and it's T-5 days at time of record. Well, no, 4. Jeez, it's Monday. 4 days, and we'll be in a field.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. It's going to be good, though.
Are you going to be taken to the field at all, like battling?
Well, I have a cheeky little
Claudia
plan.
a fighter, or
I have built Claudia to be a fighter. However, I've decided that frontline fighting at Empire isn't quite for Millie. And that's not to say that it's not good. It's very good. I love the battles, and I love taking part in the battles. It's when all of you get that mash and you get that kind of like mosh pit at the central lines. That's not for Millie. So I do have a cheeky plan.
It can be a little bit sensory overload when a crash happens as well. It just
exactly.
The fight or flight hits in, and it can quickly derail my brain.
Yeah, but no, I have a cheeky plan, and I'm going to spend all of Friday trying to find somebody to join me in this cheeky plan. So feel free to listen in, dear listeners. Give us a follow. Subscribe to us on Spotify to be notified of exactly what it is Millie gets up to on the battlefield.
I'm looking forward to finding out as well.
Yeah, are you gonna take the battle at all?
I'm trying to decide if I am or not.
What could possibly go wrong?
My current character is purely built as physic.
Yeah, it'd be good though. The battlefield medic is good.
So yeah, I'm probably going to be doing that. I'll probably see about if the Dread Shields will let me tag along with them again.
Oh yeah.
So because they're absolutely awesome people to RP with.
Yeah.
And
it should be good.
Oily being their physic is a great person to do any sort of physicking RP with.
Oh yeah.
Because he is just absolutely mind-bogglingly good at it.
Yeah. It's upsetting, isn't it? It's very upsetting that we have such talented friends. Gross.
Yep.
But yeah, it's going to be good. I can't wait because we're not going to be camping in the same place, and we're not going to be, we're not going to be sharing each other's space at all for E1.
No.
So I cannot wait to come back and be like, what the hell did you get up to? It's going to be good.
It's going to be very interesting because obviously, you used to stay in my tent.
I did.
You had your corner and I had my corner.
Yeah. And my little corner was very much messier than yours.
Oh God, no, it wasn't. Your stuff was in boxes. My stuff was in a bag that then just thrown across the floor. Yeah. I hid it behind my bed so it didn't look as bad.
Yeah, that's fair. I am trying to. So one thing I do want to try and get nailed with my new tent is like a good IC setup. So if anybody has any tips or tricks on how to hide OC things with IC things, I know that there's a couple of things in like Dunelm, like fold up ottomans and stuff that are quite good. Feel free to send them our way. Comment down below, as it were.
One of the things I have been toying with getting is an inner tent.
I really want one of those.
So basically, I can have an area at the back of the tent which is sealed off, and that's my sleeping area.
Yeah.
And basically, I can have that in their OC, and then have a front porch area that's sort of set up a bit more IC.
Yeah.
Perhaps with like a couple of wooden folding chairs or something. Just
and plus, it will keep it a bit warmer as well, won't it?
Yeah, especially when it's just going to be me and they're on my own.
I can't wait. I really want to talk to Ian about what he's doing as well. Maybe we'll get him in for the rundown podcast episodes.
Quite possibly, because it's always Talis gets up to so much at Empire.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Like I camp with the guy, and I don't find out about half the stuff he's got up to until recording episodes with him.
I know.
It's like, you what? Oh, that's why you were out till 4 a.m.
Oh God.
So the battle opportunities for this event,
mm-hmm.
There are 4 that have been released for the main battles.
Nice. Tell us more.
So the first one listed is in Redoubt.
Mm-hmm.
Save the Port at Viston.
Oh.
We'll be fighting against the Children of the Rex, which I think are
yeah, this was a battle opportunity from E4 last year.
So there is that opportunity is back up.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So there's that. There is also 2.
Oh my.
That one can only be done on Saturday, sorry.
Okay.
So there's 2 which can be run on either day, both in Tharunin.
Ooh.
First one, Resolve the Fate of Azalea's Dance.
Oh no.
So that will be against the Druge. And you can read more about that in Braided Dreams. Previous readout one can read more about in Saltburn.
Yeah.
The other Tharunin is Resolve the Fate of the Iron Helms.
Oh God. No.
Which, can you guess who we're going to be fighting against in that one?
Is it the Druge?
It's the Druge.
Whoa now.
Yeah, and more about that can be found in Black Miracles.
Oh my God. My military council is going to be spicy.
So the 4th opportunity.
Oh God.
In Mornwald. Deal with Jarl Hakon.
Okay.
And that will be against the Jotun.
Okay.
And that can only be on the Sunday.
Okay.
So yeah, MC is going to be very interesting Friday night.
Fun fact, I am also going to military council on Friday. I'm going to have all of the gossip, dear listeners. I am so excited. Me and my big notebook. We're going to go have a lovely time. I will be bringing a chair to all of these. Are you
going to be Jean's scribe there?
No, I'm not going to be a scribe. He's going to be my little biatch. No, he's James is very wonderful, and we were talking about what I wanted to do with Claudia, and James said, do you want to come to military council and we can just sit together and you can listen and just learn? And I was like, yes please, and thank you, because he's already got an adjutant and the Reapers are already pretty solid. I just like learning stuff.
And it opens up opportunities, because if you do enjoy what's going on in there, perhaps you could run for general at a future election.
Exactly. But I don't think I do want to be a general. It's too scary, too much responsibility. But yeah,
I think you smash it.
Smash it with a hammer. That's a very good pun there, Bung. Have you been saving that up?
Nope. Off the top of my head, I can't help it.
Well, dear listeners, if you have enjoyed such wonderful puns and tangents and derails, feel free to give us a like and follow.
Yeah. Leave us a review if you can.
Please do.
I've never seen anyone to leave a review on anything like Spotify for podcasts.
So it's really weird, right? The commenting thing on Spotify is very strange. But anyway, feel free. Any interaction is wonderful. I do get to them eventually, especially when they're buried deep and darkest in Spotify realms. We do have a Facebook page, the LARP Noobs. Feel free to follow us there. We've got a Twitch channel, LARP Noobs, which we're hoping, I might not be able to stream as much when I go abroad, so keep an eye out for that.
Hey, perhaps I'll get hold of the stream key.
By all means, you are more than welcome to stream. We can have a lovely time. To be fair, I will have very good internet when I go abroad, so I might just LARP in the joys of my own Discord. We could do what was the David Tennant, Michael Sheen TV show?
staged.
Yeah, we could do a staged. We couldn't. Oh God, that would be awful.
Oh dear.
But anyway, yes, feel free to do that. We also have a Patreon. You Patreons, you know who you are. You guys keep us running. You help pay our bills. And we did do a Patreon only stream on our Patreon to talk through Northern Kingdoms. It was a pilot stream, so it's something that we're hoping to develop as we go throughout the year, but it was something where we enlightened our dear Patreons on the costs of running a podcast. And so thank you to everybody that supports us in that way. In particular, this week, thank you so much to, let's thank 2 people. Why not?
Ooh.
I'm going nuts here. Thank you so much to Reese and thank you to Orion. We both.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah, love you guys. You guys are incredible. Yeah, the next time I'm going to see you, Bung, we'll be in a field, and we'll not be in ourselves. A field. So excited.
Well, depends. If you come on the Thursday to set your stuff up, I'm sure you'll pop over and say hello.
Yeah, no, I will definitely. I just don't know what time, when, how, all of the fun things, and I'll probably be very stressed, Millie, as always. Who isn't?
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
It's part of the adventure. It's like you're stressed at the start. As soon as timing hits, boom, I'm no longer that person.
Yeah.
I know this happy-go-lucky person, except for timing will happen for me, and boom, I'm now an injured and
heavily
mentally scarred person. Just like, just becoming in like the horrors I have seen.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
I'm going to try and perfect my 1,000-yard stare, perhaps. Middle distance. Just
should we practice it now to end the podcast, Bung? Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Drink for the Empire.
I can't say those words anymore.
You can't anymore.